Alright, here, and Christmas is nearly upon us, my fellow drifter maniacs. So in this video, I'm going to be talking you through my top 10 RC cars under $300 for Christmas 2020. Let's get right down to it. So, diving straight in, at price point number 1, we have the Arrma Typhon 4x4 V3 at just $229.99. Now this represents an awful lot of car for the money. So let's take a quick look at it on the Arrma website and in a little bit more detail. Why do I like the Typhon? Well, the 6S Typhon is a big favourite of mine. I've owned every version from V1 through to V4, and in the new year I'm probably going to get a V5. Now, the Typhon Mega 550, what is there to like about this? It's brushless ready. When I interviewed Jason Dearden, he told me that the new Mega range then made everything on it so you could simply drop brushless power in, away and go. Castellated slipper pad to put up with all that power. Metal bearings all round. We've got a new steering system which is designed so that stones don't get caught up in the steering, which has been an issue on some of the Mega cars previously. A new chassis which promises to be much stronger than the outgoing one. Larger pull tab on a power module so you can take the thing apart much easier. Castellated slipper pad, as I mentioned. New steering which allows stone and debris to fall out rather than getting stuck in the transmission. Spectrum SLT3R radio, that's a new one on me, but have your say in the comment section below the video. 20% more torque on the servo than the outgoing one. And I did say it was brushless ready, and indeed here we are, tough brushless ready transmission. Same gears as the Arrma 4S. Anyway, there are some cracking videos which you can watch in your own time on the Arrma Mega site, but all in all, I think it's an awful lot of car for the money. But stuck out the box, that's an absolutely cracking amount of car for the price of $229.99. I'll put a link to it at A-Main below the video, and the fact you can drop brushless power straight in and go is probably puts it number 1 to my mind, not just on this list, not just in terms of price point, but in terms of quality of car overall. Anyway, moving up in price, let's go to number 2, which is the Arrma Senton 4x4 V3 550 Mega. I've gone for this over and above the Granite for the following reasons. The reasoning behind it is this is also brushless ready. If you buy this car and make it brushless, you'll be able to drive the thing flat out with all 4 wheels on the ground. If you buy the Monster Truck Granite version and fit brushless power to it, it's constantly wanting to wheelie. So this is on the list as opposed to the Granite purely in terms of its handling capability. And while it's similar to the Typhon V3 in terms of the electrics and part of the layout, you'll see that it's very, very different in terms of the body, the bumpers, the sidecars, etc. And to my mind, if you're wanting an alternative to the Traxxas Slash, then the Senton 4x4 550 Mega should certainly be on your list. And there is that phrase, Arrma tough to consider, although I do think that applies more to the metal chassis versions than this car. But a quick look at this page will show you it has got a lot of very similar features, if not identical, to those found in the Arrma Typhon, but it will handle quite differently. And at that price point of $229.99, I do feel it deserves its place at number 2 on the list. Out of the two, a brushless conversion to the Typhon V3 would be my choice. A link to it below the video. Anyway, at number 3, we have brushless short course truck. The other day in one of my videos I included the brushed version, but this brushless one represents a huge value for money at $249 compared with the Traxxas Slash VXL at $320, albeit the Traxxas Slash will probably achieve that 60 miles an hour, whereas the Losi might struggle to reach that kind of speed on there. But for an eye on $70 difference, you can still get an awful lot of car for your money. And I do love my Losis. There's a lot to like about this. Dynamite fuse, 60 amp ESC, brushless 3,300 kV motor compared to the 3,500 kV one on the Traxxas, which is probably where the Traxxas has the edge on the top of speed. Bearings all round. This has got Spectrum ABC, which is definitely going to be in its favour in keeping that rear wheel drive power down, much the same as the TSM does on the Traxxas. Available in 2 different colour schemes, as you can see down at the bottom here. But anyway, to like one of my original points, I would suggest that if you are after a Traxxas Slash VXL 2-wheel drive, you should definitely be considering the Losi 22S brushless version. I'll put a link to it below the video. Well, at number 4, we have a personal favourite of mine. It's the Traxxas Ford GT. Arguably, this is one of the best RC car looking bodies out there. Looks absolutely stunning in pretty much whatever colour you put on it, although I have to say the personal favourite is the red as opposed to the blue. Why do I like this? Well, it's very, very easy indeed to modify. There's a lot to like about this car. If you throw a brushless setup in here for pretty much any form, you can get this thing going over 70 miles an hour fairly easily indeed. It is very, very easy indeed to work on the car. Great layout, as you will see from that picture there. Comes with a brushed 12-turn Typhon motor, but very, very easy indeed to upgrade, particularly if you just want to drop in the Traxxas Rally system. It's simply a straight plug and play job on there. You're going to be doing 70 without any problem at all. A lot to like about this car. 279 at the Traxxas on the Traxxas website. However, just 259 at A95 at A main. So I'll put a link to that below the video. But this is definitely one of my favourite RC cars. Top 10 of RC cars under $300 for Christmas 2020. We have the Sen Racing Suzuki Jimny 4x4 solid axle monster truck, completely ready to run. Yours for $259. As I say, it's Richie's first curveball on here. Now, I've watched some of the videos shot by Tony at CCX RC, which are highly recommended. Tony absolutely loves this little car, and that is good enough for me, as the guy really knows his monster trucks. He has this wheeling like an absolute demon in some of his videos. And as if on cue to highlight that fact, the next image I click on shows the wheelie bar there at the rear. So this thing is designed for some fun around your garden. You're not going to need a huge area to run this in, because it doesn't go blisteringly fast, but it's still rapid enough in the videos that I've seen from CCX RC. So that is Richie's little curveball one in this top 10 list. And I think it looks quite eye-popping in that lime green. Link to it below the video if that price point interests you. We have the Traxxas Ford Fiesta ST Rally ready to run. Yours for $269.95. Now people might be saying, what, are you crazy rich? $270 for a brushed Traxxas car? Well, for one thing, this body is absolutely gorgeous when you see it in the flesh, but that isn't what motivated me to put this car on the list. Simply put, this is one of the best handling Traxxas cars out there that I've ever driven. I've owned two of these, modified the heck out of them. I've got one at the minute which is running on a 4S setup, albeit that 4S power coming from Arrma. The handling of the thing, as you will see in this skate park video from Traxxas, is simply sublime. Literally, it is one of the best handling Traxxas cars out there on the market. One of the reasons for that is we've got the low centre of gravity chassis on there. I'm also liking it because it is so easy to work on, and there are so many modification parts out there already on the market that you can buy from it. You can replace just about everything on this car to your heart, to modify the heck out of it to your heart's content. But as I say, this is certainly one of the best handling Traxxas cars out there, straight out the box. Not necessarily about top speed, but if you fit a 3S setup in there, this thing will be doing 50 plus without any worries at all. But it is a fact, it's so easy to work on and it's such good handling that I feel it deserves its place on this list. I've done quite a lot of videos on this car through my series of modifications on it, so do check those out. I'll put a link to some of them below the video, as I'll put a link to this car below the video. So, on to number 7, which some of you will be pleased to hear is the last Traxxas car I'll be featuring today, but it is the Traxxas Stampede VXL, a worthy contender for this list, $279.95. What is there to like about this? Sheer performance, 65 miles an hour plus, pretty much straight out the box. Yeah, it's two-wheel drive, but sorry, for the price point, you just cannot ignore that speed on there. Also, proven platform, huge amount of aftermarket spares available for this car for you to modify to your heart's content. Very, very durable, very tough indeed, and you can buy the spares from it from just about anywhere you care to think about. And while it has that 65 mile an hour top speed, it's great for beginners, because at the base level the thing will run at just 30 miles an hour, but by changing the gearing, changing the batteries, you can increase the speed up to that full 65 miles an hour. So not only is it a super fast RC, but to my mind it's a great first RC for your kids if you think they're going to grow and want to go faster as time goes on, without you actually having to spend an awful lot more to upgrade the car. So taking all that to account, that is why I feel the Traxxas Stampede deserves its place on the list at $279.95. So what's next on the list? Well, maybe time for Richie's to throw in another curveball, and that would be the mighty JLB Racing Cheetah. Comes in two variants. The 80 amp one just comes in under our price point of $300 at $294. What is there to like about this car? Well, first of all, while it comes with a 3S battery, it's 4S capable. So the ESC and a motor will handle 4S with absolute ease on it. With 4S on board, it's got more power, to use that Rishi phrase, than you can shake a stick at. You will note, but the wheelie bar at the back And believe me, even on loose dirt, you will need that. This thing may need a few modifications along the way. I will warn you, things like stronger drive shafts are no bad idea at all. But straight out of the box, it's not bad at all for the money, certainly when you compare it to similar spec cars of this size that are going to take 4S, which are few and far between. There's a look at that wheelie bar. But I have owned one of these, highly rated. It's got some neat features like threaded big ball shocks. All around, as I said, comes completely ready to run with battery included on there. Yours for $294.99 at Banggood. I'll put a link to it below the video. Mine at number 9, we have the ZD Racing 9020V3, otherwise known as the Pirates 3. What is there to like about this? Well, this buggy is also 4S capable, straight out the box. Quite rapid on 3S, certainly very rapid on 4S. It's not necessarily geared up for a high speed, but it is geared up for acceleration, which it gives by the bucket load on here. What is there to like about it? Well, check out the amount of orange on there. All of that you see is in orange is actually anodized aluminum. Included those threaded big ball shocks at the front. We've got metal shock towers, both front and rear. So there is a lot to like about this. You're thinking, oh, that looks like a plastic tray there, Richie. No, Underneath this plastic, we've got a full metal chassis along the whole length of the line of the car. There is a hint of 6S Arrma Typhon in there to my mind. No, it's not as quick. It's maybe not as strong as the 6S Arrma Typhon, but it's coming up on $200 less in price. I'll put a link to one of my videos where I rated this as the best sub $350 buggy at the time when I reviewed it. And if after watching that video you like the look of it, yours on Banggood for $299.89. Link to it below the video. And lastly, in our list of top 10 RC cars under $300 for Christmas 2020, we have the Axial SMT10 Gravedigger. Yours for $299.99. Now, I'll highlight some of the downsides to this car to start with. It is no rocket ship. Do not expect to break the speed limit with this thing. You can fit a brushless setup in here. If you do fit a brushless setup in here, expect everything else on the car to break in short order. If you go brushless, you are going to need to upgrade everything pretty much that you are looking at other than the body and the chassis on there. If you go brushless with this thing, it will just eat parts. Nor is it the best of crawlers on here. Although it's kind of based on a crawler platform, it's not actually the best of crawling cars either. But on pure looks alone, the super scale Gravedigger body, fully licensed, and the green roll cage, very, very hard to overlook indeed. If you're into buying the odd shelf queen, then this is definitely the car for you. But on the plus side, it is actually quite easy to modify. There are lots of aftermarket parts out on there. You can make this whole thing metal, aluminum upgrades on there, so you can get the thing to take a lot more power. In terms of a super scale, low cost monster truck, then I would say this does tick a lot of boxes, even down to the licensed BKT monster truck tyres, just like on the real thing in Monster Jam. Link to it below the video, yours for $299.99. So, I hope you liked today's top 10 RC cars for under $300 for Christmas 2020. If you agree or disagree, have your say in the comment section right now. But if you like what you saw today, you want to see more great RC cars coming up, then don't forget to subscribe. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.